Last year for Air Max Day, Nike brought back the Air Max 1 Big Bubbles. Now, quick history lesson, in 1986, the original Air Max 1 featuring a larger window where you can see the Nike Air unit was released to the public. They quickly found out the midsole would crack in cold weather with that kind of design, so they had to redesign it really quickly. And in 1987, they reduced the size of the bubble, released it to the public, and that became the Air Max 1 that we're all familiar with. That really changed the sneaker industry. As time went on, Nike eventually figured it out, so they re-released the Big Bubbles, the 1986 version of the Air Max 1, and they created a whole mystique around it. And we've seen quite a few colorways, including the white and red colorway, the World Make Korea Air Max 1 Big Bubbles, the Obsidians, the Kids of Immigrants collection. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few more. And now, another OG colorway, Air Max 1 86 Royal. Now this shoe is dropping on March 22nd for $150. It is to celebrate Air Max Day, which is officially March 26th, even though the shoe is dropping on the 22nd, so not quite sure there. And this is a women's exclusive, so for you Bigfooters, very sorry. Now out of these two beautiful colorways, it's hard to choose. This white and red is just so iconic. It's just so synonymous with Air Maxes, but I can't choose. Let me know which colorway you prefer in the comments below. And according to Nike, they recreated the Big Bubbles by taking one out of the original 300,000 pairs that were made and put it through a CT scan so it can be as true to the original as possible. Now obviously I don't have a 1986 version in hand to do a side-by-side comparison, so I'm gonna have to take their word for it. And the materials on the shoe, it's pretty standard for an Air Max 1, a mesh-based layer, which is very soft. Now I will say personally I don't love mesh, I prefer leather over everything, but it is very soft, minimal break-in time. What I do hate though is when dust and dirt get between the material, it becomes very stubborn, it's hard to clean. So I don't love it, but it is soft. And the overlays comes with suede, very synthetic suede. Not good suede at all, you can definitely feel it when you run your fingers over it. Just doesn't feel that good. And that has been the case with most general release Air Max 1s, unless it's an Air Max 1 Premium, which ups the price by about $10 to $20, depending on what shoe it is. General release Air Max 1s, the suede overlays, just aren't very good, synthetic. And then moving to the top of the tongue, you'll see very generic Nike Air Max branding, nothing too special there. And one thing I do have to point out for 86 Big Bubbles, you see the size of your shoe that's printed on the ankle, on the inside of the ankle. So because this is a woman's exclusive, 11.5 women's, that is a size 10 in men's. I'll have more to say on sizing and comfort later, but there are a lot of times, especially on Jordan 2 shoes, where they have the size printed on the outsole. But for a women's exclusive, they still print the men's size, but at least this time, they paid attention to the details and printed the woman's size on the inside of the shoe. And then moving to the back of the shoe, of course, Nike Air branding that is stitched. And the Air Max 1 86 Big Bubble does come with a polyurethane midsole with obviously a visible Nike Air unit on the heel, much bigger than a 1987 and onwards Air Max 1. And the midsole is also slightly different, so you see the pattern slightly different. And I gotta say, the midsoles on the Big Bubbles, it just feels slightly more squishier, slightly more softer. And of course the waffle outsole, this time in a very nice black, white, and royal blue colorway. Now this shoe does not come with any extra laces, just white laces. And I think blue laces might give it a different look, might look pretty cool as well, but no real big problems with the white laces that comes out of the box. Like other Big Bubbles, the box of the shoe, it's got this kind of vintage, distressed look. Very, very nice. It's got a window where the swoosh is in the middle of the box. And then what's really cool is on the side, you see they replicated that visible air unit on the side of the box. And the insole of the shoe, blue insole with Nike Air branding, generic insole. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, I'm a size 9.5 true to size. I do have wide and flat feet, but for Air Max 1s, I usually go up half a size. This is a slightly more narrower silhouette. I have gone true to size for Air Max 1 before. The toe box area and right around where the arch is just feels a little bit too tight, a little bit uncomfortable for me. So for Air Max 1s, I do prefer going up half a size. I think if you like a more snugger and more tighter fit, going true to size won't be a deal breaker if you have wide feet. For me personally, I do prefer going up half a size. And in terms of the overall comfort, the more I wear the Big Bubbles, the more comfortable I think it is. The midsole is just slightly softer than a general Air Max 1 that's not a big bubble. So if you like that feeling, just keep that in mind. And it's just generally a very light, very comfortable shoe, especially for walking and casual use. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Max 1 86 Royal to 29 out of 40. Pretty average score compared to other general releases. Now first in terms of colorway, It's a very nice colorway. The Royal colorway is beloved, and I think for good reason. Just blue and white or gray on this shoe. It just looks very nice. There's nothing really you can complain about. And in terms of the materials, the synthetic suede on the overlays just feels really cheap. I hate how it feels, so that's one big complaint. In terms of the tech specs, I like the midsole. The Nike Air unit on the heel is very nice, of course. It's old, but it still works. But just the overlays, yeah, it just feels rough. I don't like touching it. And in terms of the comfort, the MX1 still holds up, especially for casual use. It's a very comfortable shoe. The cushioning is decent. I think it strikes a very good balance between like flat to the ground and enough cushioning and softness. For me as a wide footer, because I have to go up half a size in this shoe, a little bit more wiggle room than I like in the toe area. Lengthwise, it's just not perfect. But if you don't have wide and flat feet, I think this is a very comfortable shoe. And in terms of versatility, I think even though the MX1 was designed for a running shoe, it's just a very wearable silhouette. It changed the industry, it changed sneakers overall, and it just holds up in 2024. Just such a wearable silhouette. And in terms of the colorway, how can you go wrong? This type of blue with a very neutral gray, just very, very hard to mess up. A very wearable shoe. Super versatile MX1. I really think the MX1s works best when it's just very simple. The MX1 is my favorite Air Max, and seeing an original MX1 colorway, the Royal colorway, on the big bubbles, yeah, doesn't take much to get me excited. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the MX1 86 Royal. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.